Hi, Michael here, March 7. Welcome back to the channel. We're just noon 20 European Brussels time, which means that the US markets are still closed. Will open in a few hours. We're still in this period that I predicted of everybody waiting, not much news. So it's a great time to do some enhancements on the dashboard, clean up a bit on the data, and most importantly, adding shares to the watch list if we find interesting ones. And have I interesting ones today? From the 5 shares that I will share with you, 4 of them are at the beginning of a technical catch-up with really improving outlooks on the very short term. There's no guarantee in there whatsoever for whatever, but it is the fact that these are 5 shares that are worthwhile keeping an eye out for the moment. Um, There's not much news to share in terms of the market updates, and I'm sure if you follow Bloomberg and the other providers, that you will see that everybody's just in the waiting position. Investors do not seem to be able to make up their mind in which direction they need to go because there's also a little bit of conflicting news. The economic doom predictions that we've been hearing for months already have not yet materialized. Actually, as of day one of this year, up to now, almost what is it, 8, 10 weeks into the new trading year, we are not seeing terribly bad news despite everything that is going on. Consumers both in Europe and in the US continue opening their purses and spending nicely, which has at this moment not yet translated into a recession. Nevertheless, there is always the spook of inflation. Inflation remains on the high-ish end. We see central banks at this moment taking cautious steps to keep that within boundaries. But so far, we've not yet seen decisions that scare the investors so far. Where are we in terms of the dashboard? Dashboard is fairly up to date. We see here the trend of the share of stocks with a rating of reduce or sell increasing slowly a little bit again. But nevertheless, the amount of shares that have a rating of accumulate or buy is still very nice and healthy here. Yesterday we had some nice increases, not the extreme ones that we see every now and then, with the top one of Vistra of 13.87% there. 9 shares in the sweet spot yesterday, only 6 today, where the high spread of Volaris keeps on being confirmed already for a couple of days. I haven't seen this recalculated yet. Whether there is really a 31% spread waiting for us to harvest is the question, but we'll have to see about that. I really like the fact that we can now see on one page which shares were also in the sweet spot yesterday, and if we keep on remembering a little bit, we can keep track of those that have been there for a couple of days, because that of course makes their position in this sweet spot much more credible, as we have everyday shares popping in and out of the sweet spot on a daily basis, and that does not tell us very much. Now let's go where we want to go and add those 5 shares that I've selected for you over the course of the day today, of which the first one is STM, and then the STN obviously listed on the US exchange and not the one on the European exchanges. And that's why probably it needs a little bit of help selecting the correct one. We don't want over the counter. We'll take this one here on the New York Stock Exchange, where we have at this moment a first resistance of 49.29, which leaves us with a nice spread of 1.61%. Not a candidate for the sweet spot right now, but that may very well change. Now, The upcoming four are very, very interesting. These are the fours that I will share with you now that are really waiting for a technical catch up at this moment. They've just entered this arena where we're very early in the game of having identified that they are looking up a little rally. How big that rally will be and how long it will take, your guess is good as mine. But the fact that these five shares are worthwhile keeping an eye on for the next period is not a lie. MNSO with a first resistance of $19.29, leaving us with a spread of 3.27%. Third one, Okta. Okta has a first resistance of $99.68. And again, they're very early in the game, ready for a technical catch up. And look at that with a nice spread of 18.46%. I don't have any budgets to invest right now, but this would definitely be a share that I would investigate in much detail. SDGR with a first resistance of 28.26. Schrödinger leaving us again there a new candidate in the sweet spot with a spread, and you remember the spread is the difference between the current price and the first resistance, so the difference between these two here of 12.50%. The sweet spot will definitely look different when we have a look at it later. Our friends at Urban Outfitters, I believe it is, with a first resistance of $28.57, giving us a nice and comfortable spread of 6.1%. I think these were this harvest of these five shares today was rather interesting and successful. And let's see how this has changed the sweet spot. We've got now 8 shares in the sweet spot, and here indeed we've got Okta and Schrödinger popping up with these very nice spreads here. I'll spend the rest of the afternoon looking in more detail what is really going on there and whether they are worthwhile buying, because already for 3-4 weeks I have 2 shares that are close to the limit where I'm willing to sell, but they keep on hovering just under it. I just need a very couple of good days so I can free up the budget to buy against something else. I hope you found this episode of today of interest. 5 new shares that are worthwhile looking. The total that we have at this moment in the watch list is, let me have a quick look here, 639. It does not keep on increasing all the time because it happens every now and then that I delete shares from the watch list that are not worth spending time on. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. It will really help the channel to get some more views and likes, but definitely subscriptions help the YouTube algorithm to pick up the channel and offer the content to more people who may be interested. Thank you very much for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow with a new episode. Have a great day. Thank you.